Alrighty, fellas. Well, this is yet another episode of the BSQ podcast. This is episode number 12. Very
Ooh.
excited for that.
The big one too.
Yeah, the big one too. We're in
big
we've been in double digits.
Yeah,
you know?
the big 1-2 buckle my shoe.
Let's not talk
Get a
about
3-4.
No,
Buckle some more.
get it out of your system now,
Oh,
boys.
come on. I actually have it on my Discord soundboard now.
You do?
Yes, I do, because it's just perfect.
I mean, it is funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am your host, Jared, and today I am joined by my good friends. I have Charlie,
Hello.
and then I also have Jack.
Hello, what's up? It's been a
And-
while.
Yeah, I know. It's been a hot minute. What was the last episode you were on? The Halloween one?
No, it was the AI one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, man.
Which order did that come out? Was it?
That was number 7, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was the Halloween one number 6? It might have been, because I think it was like back to back almost.
Yeah,
but yeah,
back to back.
yeah. It's been a minute. So, So today's subject matter will be about Pokemon. I think me and Charlie may end up mud wrestling in the backyard, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, I think we're mostly on the same page.
I think we've toned
nowadays.
it down a lot.
I think Scarlet and Violet has been the great unifier of the community, where we're all just against Pokemon now.
It's like, did you even try? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, cool. So, first, I guess we could start out with kind of our used to be the weekly catch up. It's more like the monthly catch up nowadays.
Yeah.
Ooh, the weekly catch up. Ooh, what happened last week, fellas?
We should get a jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. A little visual on the screen.
Yeah, ding. You know, it'd be good.
Yeah,
Fun.
it goes doo 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 doo.
Editor Jared, put that in post. Just take something off of
Fuck.
royalty-free music.
Yeah.
You better actually do that instead of just not doing it.
I might need to now.
Kevin
Maybe.
McLeod, get us a jingle.
But yeah, so I think one of the big things that we've all, as far as like big nerdy shit happening in the past few weeks, would be the Guardians 3 came out.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
pretty good. It
Uh-huh.
was. I'm finally free of the MCU now.
Yeah, you're just checked out now.
Yeah.
So-
I'm free.
I don't have to watch another superhero movie ever again.
So I was gonna ask, are you guys like officially like 100% checked out of it now?
Yeah.
Like, unless there's like something like really
Like,
attention
well, the
grabbing.
most-
Maybe another Spider-Man, but those tend to be more standalone, really, than anything else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like, I'm just like, not to say that I haven't enjoyed anything since Endgame, but like, because there's some good TV shows, but I just really don't care for the general overarching, like the big plot movies, like Ant-Man and stuff, were
Mhm.
just so boring. And I don't care for, like, Kang was not threatening. Like, the actor, he did a fine enough job. He was better in Loki. But like he just wasn't non-threatening. He just conveniently didn't kill the heroes when he easily could have, but then tried to kill them when
Yeah.
it was, it's
Well, and as we've learned, Jonathan Majors is actually very threatening.
yes, he's a scarier villain in real life than he is on the MCU.
Yeah, like what a menace, man! Like I can't believe that. Like it's
Dude,
just,
superhero stars try not to be pieces of shit challenge.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller and him are front running.
yeah, I can't believe it. The front running Flash. That was good. Yeah, no, it's been like really depressing to see like and I think we're starting to get like some better stuff now, especially on the DC side of things with like superhero
because
movies.
James Gunn is over there now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the Flash is going to be a dog water movie. You're not going to catch me. And all the reviews are being like, "Oh, this is a genre defining." And I'm like, "There's no way."
You're telling me the movie that fucking has, what is it, Dark Flash instead of Reverse Flash?
Yeah, it's such a weird.
Batman cameo for some reason.
Yeah, they're trying to make a Batman movie. It's like if No Way Home had like Ben Affleck's Daredevil as like one of the lead characters. Like it just makes no sense. Like I don't get it. It's not.
Dude, it's Into the Bativerse, but it's a Flash movie.
I don't know if this is a crime or not, but I still haven't seen the new Suicide Squad.
I mean,
Not the 20.
I haven't seen James Gunn's one either,
Yeah.
but I've heard it's good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very good.
It's pretty much like DC's Guardians in tone, is from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's because it's rated R. They they don't need to really pull as many punches with the jokes. So it's definitely more of like I know it's a comic book movie, but it's more of like a quote unquote adult movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that, and then also the Batman, which I know that James Gunn didn't have anything to do with that movie.
I've heard that
But,
one
like-
was good, but because that's more like standalone though than like DCU,
Yeah. So it's completely separate. So it's like its own like standalone thing, and then they're
Yeah.
gonna have
which I think those might just work better. Like I'm kind of like, even with the MCU, I'm kind of like done with overarching plots, especially when it feels like movies are just there to set up other movies.
Yeah, I want more like fantastic standalone movies instead of just people trying to build a cinematic universe. Because the only one that has been like mildly successful has been like Marvel.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Like, well, mildly is underselling it. Incredibly successful.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like big crossover franchises, though, I don't think there's many. Like the DC ones have been kind of in the gutter for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it'll get better, but like, yeah, I don't know if anything else is really like.
There's,
I mean,
done
you
that.
got the
there's
Monsters
the
ones,
MonsterVerse, yeah, with Godzilla
Oh
and
yeah,
Kong.
okay, those movies are pretty fun.
They're making another one, right? Didn't they drop a teaser for it?
Yeah, so it's Godzilla and Kong, and they're fighting, which is supposed to be another giant gorilla. So-
Yeah. See, that's fucking. I know it makes really no sense given that they're just like animals, but like the fact that they're teaming up to fight a bigger threat, like they know that's what the fans want. We just want to see these two legendary like movie monsters just beat the shit out of another movie monster.
Could you imagine, dude? I'm so excited to see like the 1-2 punch of Godzilla and Kong fighting, or like fighting a big fucking gorilla.
Oh god,
I'm so
See,
excited.
It was hype enough where they like stopped fighting in Godzilla vs Kong to team up against Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
And they were like just beating the absolute shit out. Like that was cool. And now we're gonna get a whole movie of that.
That's
like I can't wait
awesome,
for like
yeah.
Kong to like fucking like headlock a guy, and Godzilla just comes in and starts like blasting him.
Oh,
Like
Yeah,
man.
my favorite moment from the fucking Kong versus Godzilla movie was the moment where fucking Kong was like dying, and then Godzilla punches Mecha Godzilla, and then he's like, "You saved me."
No,
but,
that
but
was the-
why?
that
And
was-
then Godzilla was like, "Monkey."
wasn't that the other way around? I thought Kong was the one who like punched
Yes,
Mecha because
yeah.
Kong was like having a heart attack on the side
Yeah.
and small
realistic
small
panic
child
attacks in fiction.
Godzilla was having a panic attack, and his emotional support child came and
Yeah, no, I'm like super excited for it though, because like those movies can just be big, dumb, and fun. And,
Yeah,
like when Godzilla vs Kong came out, like we were like we rented out a theater with a few other people, and it was just like we were cheering it on like it was a wrestling match.
yeah,
you know? It was
like it was fun.
awesome.
We were like sports teams. Like some of us were Team Kong, some were Team Godzilla.
How could you
so
not
we
be
were-
Team Godzilla, by the way?
I'm sorry. I am Team Kong because Big Monkey is funnier than Godzilla.
Okay, but Godzilla's like cool though. He's made out.
I mean, no,
nuclear power,
Godzilla is fucking dope. They're both dope. I just prefer the monkey. He's funny. He eats bananas. He climbs buildings. Throws barrels, I think.
That's not it, dude.
Speaking of other movies that are just fun with Kongs, the Mario movie was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much dumb fun. Like it could have been an actual movie, but I'm not mad that it wasn't.
I feel like it didn't hit like the emotional notes of like a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
usually, of like good Pixar, I should say.
I mean, we're talking
yeah.
about Illuminations here.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
so, I definitely think it's better than like I think I enjoyed it better than like Despicable Me.
Yeah.
you know, I've only ever seen the first
Yeah.
one, so I can't
I-
comment on the others.
I think
but-
the first one's good. I mean,
think
I
it's-
haven't watched it in like a decade.
I
Yeah.
think it's universally agreed that the Despicable Me one is the best movie
Oh,
out of that studio.
That makes sense because they were a brand new animation studio trying to make it like become a foothold in the industry. So they actually had to try, and then they made like $1 million or whatever. And yeah, now we have Minions 2 with people going
Yeah.
in suits and eating bananas
that was pretty
to
funny.
be.
Speaking of crossover movies, want to know what movie I like to see?
What movie would you like
The
to
Pokemon Company versus game development.
Yeah,
Talking about
That's good.
yeah, good.
Talk
Good,
about Pokemon.
good segue. Was there? Oh, well. Speaking of games, we were gonna talk about Tears of the Kingdom. I think briefly. We're gonna do an
Yeah.
episode. We're gonna do a
Yeah,
whole
that needs to be a
episode
dedicated
later.
thing because that'll be.
But
So make sure to hit that bell.
yeah, the notification
Thanks,
bell
Jack.
to see a bunch of dudes in their 20s talk about Zelda. But
really charting new ground on
I know,
on the
yeah.
internet here. Right? Yeah.
a bunch of dudes with a podcast.
Yeah, scruffy
talking
white
about
boys
their-
with a podcast. I run Nintendo games.
Kids like sitting on the couch, just like meeting of the mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the meeting of the minds right here. But yeah, new Zelda, pretty good. Nintendo. Well, I know Nintendo doesn't make Pokemon; they just own it. But like a Nintendo open world game that's actually good.
Yeah, and it really made me think because I'm loving every second of it. For the record, like I think it takes Breath of the Wild, which is already like a perfect game, and then just makes it better somehow. There's been so many times where I'm just like, wow, like Game Freak just didn't even try with this, huh?
Yeah.
it's like
It's
like,
crazy to
damn.
me too. It's wild. Tears
Breath
of the
of the
Kingdom's a massive. Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom has been a massive success, but it sold the same amount as Pokemon did in the same amount of time. They're like neck and neck, which is really sad because one is a game that was made with passion and love and made to please the fans of the series, and the other is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you know? And I'm not gonna say I didn't have any fun with Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, yeah, no, because we definitely did.
I think we talk about it in another video. I don't know.
I don't think we actually have yet.
I don't know if that video's out yet or not, but like I had fun, but it's not great. Like if it was like a $30 indie game, sure, yeah, it's fun. It's a good start for a small company, but I was just like looking at this, and I haven't played Xenoblade 2, but I've heard that's a fantastic open world
game. It looks
game,
gorgeous too,
and it looks great. And apparently Monolith helped with Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. Well, they helped with Breath of the Wild too.
Oh, they did. Oh.
Yeah, that's why there was the whole Xenoblade DLC that was added post launch.
Oh,
the
really?
Game. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's like an almost set. Or maybe a shield or something from the game. I don't remember.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's like an armor set.
Yeah, but yeah, Tears of the Kingdom so far, really good. Watch out, Sonic. There's a new masterpiece in town. Okay.
Yeah. Sonic Frontier, step aside. But yeah, no, it's been great so far, and we'll get into it later. But we can segue into how disappointing of an open world game Scarlet and Violet was.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where I remember we were basically like counting the frames on release day. So
and we were huffing copium real
hard.
For
sure. Yeah,
like,
I mean, we had a video that came out like 2 days after that.
Yeah, I think we did like a first impressions, and we're like, oh, it's not that bad. Like the frame drops aren't that noticeable. We're and like sure we were having fun because it's the charm of a new Pokemon game. How can you not? Especially when it's something that this one really, they actually did change the formula, but unfortunately, the dev team was not given enough time nor money.
Yeah,
I think Game Freak still has less than 100 people making the games, and
Wait,
for
really?
yeah,
that's what the fuck?
I don't know exactly why, but I've heard some people say it's like they prefer like a small work culture. And it's all people that have, been working on the Game Boy games too. So not a lot of modern experience in there.
Well, yeah, and that's one of those things too, where it's like I can kind of respect the theology behind that, where you're just going, we like having a smaller team that way everybody knows everybody. It's easier to coordinate. Like on paper, I can see how that works.
But this is a AAA franchise owned by the largest game studio in the world, and this franchise is the most profitable franchise in human history. Like, I know it's mostly through merchandise sales and such, but like, you need the video games to push the merchandise. If they stopped making games,
ever heard of the Pokemon TV show?
Okay, but who actually watches?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Do kids actually still watch that? Like, obviously we did growing up. I don't like. Is it still as popular as it used to be?
I mean, I would assume maybe not, but again, I'm not the target audience.
I mean, yeah, so. It's probably big in Japan because like TV is still big in Japan.
Yeah.
Here, like I think Pokemon was on Disney XD when it was on TV. It like flip flopped between that and Cartoon Network, I think.
Yeah. I'm mostly watching Cartoon Network.
Japanese TV. I mean, you got all these like incredible animated shows. You got like, like your Naruto and your fucking One Piece or whatever, like these huge things. And then over here you got Max Singer, fucking Guy Fieri's supermarket.
Yeah, American cable TV is on its way out, but that could be a whole nother video.
Yeah,
because
honestly,
But I feel like Pokemon, for like how it started, it was just gargantuan. And honestly, like I think they had like a really good, basically gens 1 through 5, as far as like the times that they released and the actual quality of the games and how much passion and effort was put into it. Bangers, straight like through and through.
It was.
I don't like Gen 2. I'll
fight you on that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But
opinions aside, it's still every generation was an improvement over the last one.
For sure.
Like, Gen 2, I will agree, like it's not the best, but it definitely like Mog's Red and Blue, Fire Red and Leaf Green, Mog Gold and Silver, but like
and then
but that's also Gen 3 versus Gen 2.
And then the Gen 2 remakes, Mogged Red and
Fire, like they just kept getting better,
Right, yeah, and I think that kind of ended after they moved to the 3DS.
And then Gen 6 happened.
Just to like be very short about it, basically like Black and White underperformed like really bad, and people like, where the fuck is Charizard and Garrett, like because they tried to do an entirely new experience. It was like a soft reboot without being a full reboot.
Yeah.
Wait, Black and White wasn't Gen 6, right?
Black and White was Gen 5.
Oh, sorry, I'm in Gen 7.
Yeah.
See, look, I haven't played a Pokemon game since X and Y, and I
Yeah.
got
Wait,
back
seriously?
into
It was
Yeah.
Gen 6, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played since Gen 6, and then I picked up Pokemon Violet.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of like the casual heel
So you got
compared to
back
these
in?
two.
Yeah.
I got like that rose tinted perspective, if you will, from these grizzled veterans over here.
Yeah, we've been in the trenches.
in the Pokemon mines, trying to find content, but it's all been mined up.
The millennials yawn for the Pokemon mines.
But yeah, like the response, even though they were really good games, and Black and White 2 even more so, because that's when they like kind of balanced out.
Arguably the pinnacle of the series.
Yeah.
I would say.
Like with how much there is to do and the story and the amount of Pokemon, like it they were getting better and better, but because of the response to that, and I think the transition to 3D was a big move for them.
Yeah.
They kind of like reeled it back, and X and Y were very like, remember Kanto, guys? Like remember like, Charizard and Pikachu, and like to the point where the first dungeon in X and Y is an exact 1-to-1 clone of the first dungeon in Red and Blue.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Santaloon Forest is laid out exactly the same. Oh, and it is programmed into the game that your first ever wild encounter will be a Pidgey.
Bruh. Wow.
Like nothing else. It will be a Pidgey every time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They
Wasn't-
just like leaned hard into the nostalgia, and it worked. It worked better than Black and White did. And I mean, of course, the novelty of 3D is also there, and the DS had a pretty big install base. I think it was mostly the novelty of 3D and the amount of references to the original games, and they just been doubling down on that since.
Oh yeah.
Because they know they can get away with just doing the bare minimum.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least
again,
the
I don't
suits
think
did.
they went into. I don't think they went into 6 and 7 thinking like trying to do the bare minimum.
No,
'Cause, like, you can tell like they did
didn't.
still bring in new ideas and
Yeah,
like,
wasn't-
new
Yeah,
gimmicks
no, not
and,
to
like,
say that they
yeah.
haven't done anything new, but like, I mean more like the suits behind it are like, okay, we can give the developers like a few years of dev time and it'll be fine. Like I am positive the developers themselves, like the people making the games, want them to be fantastic. There's a lot of good ideas in each one, but then you can see where corners were cut and things were rushed because the CEO is like, we need that holiday release date because a Pokemon game will never sell outside of a holiday.
Yeah.
Not like it's the biggest fucking franchise of all time. I mean, Zelda released in fucking May. That random ass time, and it sold well. Pokemon could release.
I mean, because it's
in
also
the middle of March, and it would sell gangbusters.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's because of it's a brand name that everyone is like loves to associate. So of course I go to pick up. Like I picked up Violet because all my friends were excited about it. Like,
Yeah.
look at the Violet.
I mean-
It's like the fourth true open world Pokemon. And that was very appealing to me.
It was appealing, and there was a lot of fun to be had, like playing with friends that first day because it really bore off after.
Yeah, hey, listen, we got like 3 solid weeks out of it.
No, we
We got like
did.
a couple months out of it with the whole raids and stuff.
Yeah, with the raids, I was.
I think
doing-
I only played the first big raid post release.
Yeah,
I
I played the
was-
first 2 big ones.
I was trying to do them, and then I just stopped after a certain point, and I was gonna do this weekend's raid, which was Chestnut, and wouldn't you know it, a few hours into the start of the raids, it turns out they accidentally put in a game-breaking bug. If you did any, like they also had raids for the 2 Donphan paradoxes going on, and if you did either one, when you finished the raid, it would say that you got no rewards, and then your game would just crash.
Oh.
Which, and knowing their coding, it led to some people losing their save data. So they're like, oh yeah, we're just not gonna do the raids, and they did not say they would do any makeup times. And I'm like, geez, the one time I was gonna play, and they reminded me exactly why I stopped playing.
Also, I feel
Yeah,
like
fuck the raids. They were so unbelievably hard
And
for like a
Fucking-
children's game. For a fucking children's game.
I'm kind of okay with that. I'm not. I think the raids were fairly balanced. I just think they were buggy as shit.
yeah, I think
think-
yeah, that's
if
fair.
if there wasn't
Yeah.
so much lag and like
Yeah.
the fact that like it's all real time based, but you still gotta mash A through text prompts.
Yeah, that's silly.
Oh yeah, that's
It's basically
if you're,
turn based.
if you're not getting through those text prompts enough, you're gonna have to sit through another attack.
and then just make it turn based then. Don't make it real time because like
Yeah, because that worked in Sword and Shield where it was turn-based, so everybody had to put in their moves, and when everyone was ready, then they played
Honestly,
it out.
if they wanted to make it quicker, they could have just shortened the timer. Make it 20 seconds to choose your moves. You'd be done with a turn in about like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Like I think that would be fine.
Yeah, because like if somebody just happens to not be paying attention, because I guess it was a problem with Sword and Shield, then 20 seconds go by and they don't do anything.
Yeah, and also like with like the most annoying thing about the fucking raids in Scarlet and Violet, the fact that like you could do one move and then your game just won't let you do anything for 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Yeah, because then you're sitting through like the boss doing a million things, and then you see the command menu pop up for a second, and then you're about to choose it, and then you got to sit through something else, and then
or you just click on the menu and just doesn't respond.
That too.
Yeah.
I mean, a big part of that, like besides like the whole issue with the menu is like the fact that they don't play animation and text at the same time.
Yeah, right.
That simple fix would just make everything flow so much better. Play the animation and say the whatever uses whatever at the same time, and then do it's super effective or whatever at the same time the damage animations be like.
It's just crazy how one of the
clunky.
biggest game companies in the world that back the Pokemon company, Nintendo, to like for the last like God knows how long, they have never understood the internet at all when it comes to like
Nintendo as a whole.
Nintendo as a whole, like the fucking like with the whole copyright stuff on videos and stuff anywhere, the fact that the online system have been garbage for years.
Yeah, they're 90s ass servers.
Yeah, dude, I swear to God, like you're the biggest video game company in the world, and yet you charge people like how much a year for the standard?
I think it's 20 for the standard.
Yeah, $20 for a standard year, which is, I don't know about other ones.
If it was functional, that's not a bad price.
Yeah. If it was functional, it'd be worth the price. But this is Nintendo we're talking about.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They've got such a I guess I keep using the word strangled, but they people will pay for it, and they won't change anything. Well, which is why people always like, why doesn't Nintendo step in and make Game Freak change? Make Pokemon better. It's because they don't have any financial incentive to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nintendo themselves might be making fantastic games like Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Odyssey, like their Metroid Dread, all of Nintendo's first party franchises are doing their best games ever. Kirby, Metroid, Zelda, like they're all the best games they've ever had. And then Pokemon is just here doing what it's always done, and Nintendo they don't care because it still makes them money.
Right.
So why,
And then it just, I don't mean to backtrack, but like going back to the whole like not understanding like online stuff, like with like what you said too with the raids, they just like, oh, we're just not gonna do them anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's like, but then what's the point of having like these big events and stuff?
Well, and the real funny thing too is that like when big events like that get canceled, or if there's some like really buggy thing that goes on, and like like the whole thing about AAA games is just like like they're half baked nowadays. But like, do you know how many times like the game company will send out almost kind of like a please forgive me bucket,
like
where it's just
and
it's like okay, here's a special outfit, here's some like in-game credits you could use. Like I think Overwatch might have did that a while ago. A lot of game companies have done that. And I know Overwatch 2 is another thing. I know.
Don't get me started, dude.
Yeah, rest in peace, Overwatch 2. Am I right?
Oh, God, yeah.
But back to Pokemon.
Game is hard.
Well, yeah, but but Game Freak does nothing about that. They're just like, oh, sorry guys, and I'm just like,
they didn't even said like we will reschedule these raids for a later date. And I think because this was the second weekend of Chestnut, like I didn't know about the first one, but this was the second weekend, so I'm assuming they're gonna be like, well, if people really wanted it, they would have, and they'll just. And nothing will happen. People will complain, and things will go on as usual.
Yeah, and honestly, like especially when they have stuff like, because this is not the first time that we've heard about Scarlet and Violet just deleting the save data.
Yeah, with the Pokemon Go thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, and like this has been happening, like shit like this has been happening from launch. And like I cannot tell you how devastated I would be because Home is apparently getting Scarlet and Violet activity soon.
No,
I cannot.
Well, did you hear about that?
I know it got pushed back.
Yes, they announced that it would be May 24th, and then they were like, "Oh, whoops, never mind." But then they didn't say what date it would actually be, and everyone's like, "What happened to the early 2023? We're in mid fucking 2023. The year's almost halfway over, and you still haven't managed to somehow code something that should have been ready from day one." Where? Because like. I know like stuff like X and Y even like had a delay for their backwards compatibility, but
Right.
gens I guess 4 and 5 and 2, 4 and 5 had it from day one.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, somehow it's been taking them so long just to just to figure this out.
Yeah, but no, I couldn't tell you. Like, I would be just devastated, right? Let's say I put all of my Pokemon, like all of my old Pokemon for the past 15 years, basically, into like into Scarlet and Violet, and then like a stupid crash happens, and it just bricks my save data.
Yeah, I wonder how far back can you like transfer Pokemon from the first like Game Boy games all the way to the coin?
Not technically. People have figured out ways to actually do that.
It's I think with the 3DS ones you could though.
Like
when you bought it on
with
eShop,
the Virtual
right?
Console you could.
Oh. Well, I didn't know like you can like trade from like from red to
you can
gold to emerald to DS and then that.
You technically can't because they never coded it to be able to go from game gold and silver to like ruby and sapphire. But people have figured out how to do that in modern times and have made like you can now like legitly get Pokemon from Red and Blue all the way up to.
Actually, aren't you doing that with
That's
your?
crazy.
Was it Crystal? Is that what you've been?
I
know it's one of the Gen 2 games.
I was gonna try that because I have I found out a way how, but I haven't touched Crystal in a while either.
I like isn't Psyduck like the one Pokemon that's been in every like mainline game as well?
That and like Pikachu and Magikarp, I think. There's a
yeah,
handful of
Pikachu,
Gen 1 ones that have been in every single regional dex, but I couldn't tell you who they are.
Except for X and Y, not X and Y, Black and White, right?
Black and White the exception, but those like Psyduck, Pikachu, all of them appeared in the post game, so they were still technically catchable.
Gotcha.
But what was I gonna say?
It's crazy. I'm sorry.
You were just talking about like the whole Pokemon Home thing.
Mm-hmm.
That whole situation could be easily fixed if they made it like you were able to just like in game take the Pokemon out of home to use and they would still be safe in there. Like there's ways that they could easily prevent these crashes from deleting your Pokemon, but
Nope.
No, there's a lot of things they could do better, but
yeah. Okay, well, I guess going into a lighter note, do you guys have like either like a set game or like a set generation do you think is your favorite?
Probably 5 for me.
Probably 4, honestly.
Yeah, so kind of expand this. So, Charlie, you have just Black and White 1 or Black and White 2?
I think both. I do think Black and White 2 are the better games. I have a little more like fond memories of Black and White 1, and I think the charm of like it being an entire dex of new Pokemon is a lot. I like that a lot more. I think it would be. I would love it if every Pokemon generation did that because I don't see the point in using the same Pokemon you always use. Because there's some people like, oh, I need to have a Gyarados on my team, or I need to have, so and so. But to me, it's like I want to try out all the new guys.
Right. Yeah.
And so Black and White was incredible because there was over 150 new Pokemon. And it was just like I don't know. I have a lot of fond memories of it, and there's definitely a bit of nostalgia in there. But I still think they are like a proper evolution, pun intended, of the series.
Funny.
Yeah, and then the story's good. The region design could be better. I know it's like the first case of it being like a going around in a linear path. But that's where I think Gen 4 like perfected like the whole exploration, like all the side areas and different ways to get different places. But I don't know. I'm just very fond of Gen 5.
Yeah.
Jack, you said Gen 4 for yours?
Yeah, Gen 4, honestly, dude. Platinum is all you need. Okay.
Yeah, Platinum is like a base pick.
Platinum is very good.
It's just basically a better version of like Diamond and Pearl. But as far as I'm aware, I don't have too many fond like memories of the game. However, so I just know that it's like in my head, it's like that's the best one. That's the best one I played. But like I don't know. I think I like the whole aesthetic with Gen 4, like it being like I don't know. It felt like there was a bunch of different places you can go. Like, I mean, obviously, dude, this is a Pokemon game, bunch of places. I don't know. It's hard to describe because I haven't played it in like maybe 15 years or so. How old is Platinum?
Probably-
2006, I think, was when it came out.
So probably
2007?
17, 18 years probably.
Yeah, I haven't played that game in a long
It's
time.
getting close.
So my memory just with it.
Yeah, and
But
no, I agree. There's a lot of places to explore, and I always liked the way that it kind of weaved you through. Like, I think you go in and out of the central mountain like so many times throughout your journey. Like,
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
natural, and,
Oh,
and it's a
really?
different way. It's a different path through it every time. It's really cool. It's like this one place you keep coming back to until the climax of the game. You go to the very top to.
I love the whole theme of like time and space and the universe. And
Yeah.
like what does it all mean?
I know.
It
We're
felt
gonna take-
huge back in the day too.
Yeah.
You know, like having like like all the lore with Arceus too. It
Yeah.
was just like
Yeah, like
nutty.
like
Such a
people.
cool Pokemon.
People will complain about like, oh, legendaries shouldn't be like gods. They should just be like really rare Pokemon. And to an extent, some modern legendaries are like that. Like Koraidon and Miraidon are just like they're paradoxes of a regular Pokemon, which I think is cool.
Yeah, no, I'm
Mhm.
down for that.
And I will say I really did like the whole story with them and how they felt more important than a lot of legendaries tend to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
But-
part of it's because you're riding on its back for half the time
Yeah.
too. You know.
But like I still think like Gen 4 really knocked it out of the park with like there's a lot of legendaries, but most of
Mm.
them are like fantastic. And,
Yeah, they
like,
have
I
like,
like
like the fairies, dude.
yeah, I like the world building and stuff, you know.
Yeah, the themes and the setting and just that's so good.
Heatran can
Not
get
to
fucked,
mention
though.
some
Yeah,
of
I
the
don't like
best-
Heatran.
Or Fiona.
I know this is a hot take, but some of
Yeah.
the best designed Pokemon come from Gen 4.
Oh yeah,
Actually.
I got to tell you, man. I think that's a cold take. That is that. Like I.
A cold take?
Oh yeah, I don't think that's a hot take at all. You kidding me? I think that's like universally agreed upon.
Like,
That's, like, awesome.
Pokemon are Gen 1.
Well, listen, look, I'm a
Eggs.
casual fan. I don't go on the Pokemon Reddits. Okay.
No, there's some good designs. And I really liked like just they were like expanding on so many previous evolution
Yeah.
lines and like trying to like complete
And I
them.
think that's why I like it too, because like you know,
Yeah.
like Gligar on his own, I think is like kind of one note, kind of lame.
yeah.
But then you get Gliscor, you know, or like
Yeah.
Electabuzz and Magmar.
I will
you know,
say I do think Electivire and Magmortar are straight downgrades from Magmar and Electabuzz. That's my hot take.
that's a that's a hard
Oh,
disagree.
yeah.
I think they're both so much better.
Magmortar-
Electivire specifically, I think is huge.
they're not awful. They're just downgrades. I like the charm of like, you know, the electric Oni Tiger and the flaming duck thing. A lot like if they looked more like the previous evolutions, like proportionally, right? I guess like because like Electivire, you know, Electabuzz has like kind of like, you know, more realistic hands,
Mm.
and then Electivire has sausage fingers. Magmar goes from having like a defined beak and tail to no tail and just big flat lips. But it's just that's also just the art style of Gen 4. It's
yeah,
different.
yeah. I think that's why I like Gen 4 so much. Though.
Yeah, Gen 4 definitely has the best final evolution for the Star Wars. Fucking Empoleon, Infernape, Tree,
Torterra.
Torterra thing.
Oh.
They have the best designs of any final evolution.
No,
of Star
I will
Wars.
say, yeah, Gen
Yeah.
4's trio is probably the tightest trio.
Yeah, it's
Like,
I'm
they're-
always tied between Gen 3 and Gen 4 as far as like which starter trio I like better.
I just looked up. Magmortar does have a tail, but it's just like
It's like a little one, right?
it's like flames just coming out of its butt.
yeah.
But yeah, no, they're like Gen 4 starters are really tightly designed.
Yeah, I think. Would you say that's your favorite starter trio?
For me, 100%.
I might, yeah, because I'm
100%,
trying to
yeah.
think. Like I'm in the minority that thinks that Gen 5's trio is not that bad. Like,
yeah, see that's a hot take right there.
Gen,
but
okay, I will say, what was Gen 5?
Gen 5 was Superior, Emboar, and Samurott. Not that. Does that mean
Fuck,
it?
I don't even remember.
The
Again,
the
I need
pig,
to-
the fire pig, the grass snake, and the water otter.
Oh yeah, they were cute. I like them.
Yeah, I think I might be on the
I,
video.
I think Embor's dope. He's
Yeah,
he's
Embor-
like Ganon. You know?
I don't mind Embor. I think the other ones I'm just not a fan of. Yeah, like I remember playing White for the first time.
That's
and
fair. Like
seeing the 3 starters, and I was just like,
no, they can be
not
a bit.
fan.
They can be a bit underwhelming. Like Superior's just a big snake.
Yeah,
But I kind of like that. Like nowadays, you get starters that are like so over designed and they're clear, distinct personalities. And then you look at like the older ones, and they're just animals. They're just cool animals.
Oshawa.
I would take Superior over Meowscarada every day.
Oshawa is peak.
Oshaw's
pretty cool. I do
Yeah.
like
Oshawott
Oshawott.
is
Has
the,
nothing on
I remember
Piplup, though.
when the
That's all.
games
Yeah.
when the games were coming out, everyone was shitting over Oshawott, and he stood the test of time. Oshawott is like the Gen 5 starter.
Yeah, it's
now.
definitely the best Gen 5 starter,
Yeah.
like by a
Dude,
pretty large margin.
He's like the next logical step of Piplup. He's got that cute charm of Piplup, but he's an otter, and that's way cooler.
Waddle Startles keep winning.
Well,
We don't
actually-
talk about the new duck one.
Yeah, water starters haven't been winning since
Gen 5.
Gen 6.
Was Gen
Gen 6
are
was
we even-
Greninja.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then you go nothing against like Primarina, but I just not a fan.
Yeah,
Inteleon is dog shit.
yeah, agreed.
I don't like his
Seconded.
really long fingers and like stick figure body.
Yeah, I don't know whether
Oh,
you
yeah,
also
that
fight him,
was-
bro.
And then I'm so disappointed with Quaquavel.
They had such a cool design. Like I honestly thought that Gen 9 might have had like a new favorite trio of starters for me, and then I saw the evolved forms, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm just going with Fuecoco. Like,
Yeah.
that's my only choice. Like,
Yeah, no, like they had potential, and I don't know why people thought it was gonna be like a classic style trio, but
well, because I think they looked kind of
they,
like
I mean, yeah, they did kind of have that like very basic gen, and with how much they've been pushing, at least Sprigatito, I think they're trying to make it the new Pikachu.
I don't like
Want to
that.
know why people thought that? Copium.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
definitely
thought we were
gonna
gonna
After-
get like a
after
cool
Sword and
sailor
Shield,
duck,
yeah.
like a pirate or
yeah,
conquistador duck.
yeah, for sure.
You know, just like, you know, because he had like that, it looked like a sailor's hat. And then, I mean, what's the Fuecoco's evolution's name?
I remember my nickname for
The
it.
big flat
Yeah.
fuckus. That's exactly what, that's about what I thought he was going to be. You know,
Yeah.
that big, and I'm happy. He's cool. He's a big,
Mhm.
an actual monster, you know?
Yeah, I kind of wanted it to look a little bit more goofy, to be honest with you. I know that
That's
might be.
fair.
I still
That's
love
fair.
it for the record.
Oh
but-
yeah.
I do. I think the
Yeah.
middle stage might be my favorite out that line though, with his
Really, yeah.
little fire sombrero. I think that's fun.
Yeah,
I
it's
remember,
cute.
I remember you specifically, Charlie. You didn't want to involve your duck guy.
I don't
What's his
think.
name
Did you?
again?
No, I ended up evolving him just because I did, but I kept him unevolved as long as I could. And then like at the end of the first gym battle, because I had played a lot up to that point, it took me a while to get the first gym. I was just dicking around, and so I'm like, okay, this is a good point to finally let him evolve. And then I saw it, and I was like, fuck, I should have pressed B, because I wasn't gonna keep him on my final team. I knew from the start
Yeah.
that I was gonna box him for a different water type because I didn't like Quaquavel, but I was like, maybe it will look not that bad in game.
Yeah, it's grown. Quaquavel has grown on me a little bit. Like I still don't like it, but like I'm not disgusted as I was before.
Yeah,
I
like-
really don't like the Sprigatito line. Like
No,
like
that-
Masquerada, I
Yeah,
do not
I'm
like.
a fan.
No, and that's just like it's the fact they've been pushing it. It's like the quirky, like it's the quirky pick, and
Yeah.
it's like ooh. Well, I don't even know how to describe
Weed
Masquerada. It's
cat,
like
right?
It's a human
Weeb
cat. It's
cat.
furry. Yeah,
yeah, it's it's all like smug and
Not we, but weed.
oh weed cat.
Yeah, weed cat, weed cat.
But they've been pushing that whole line so much harder than the other two.
Really, I haven't noticed that.
If you look at like merchandise and the anime,
Uh,
like the Ash replacement doesn't have a Pikachu, she has Sprigatito. They put out an entire merchandise line centered around Sprigatito and not the other two. Like it's not like normal where like all three starters are included in the like, you know, they all get
Yeah.
plushes, they all get whatever. Sprigatito gets its own merchandise line. It's
Okay.
it's because it's a cat, let's be honest.
Okay, but
That's why
here's
it's
the thing.
popular.
Wanna what would save the Pokemon Company? We need a standalone Piplup game. That's all I'm saying. Standalone only Piplup.
You know
Just-
what? I can't argue against that.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine. Yeah, because
That
yeah.
does make me think of Mystery Dungeon though, and we need
Mhm.
another Mystery Dungeon game.
Agreed.
Great.
At the
segue,
very least,
see?
a remake of Time, Darkness, and Sky. Like,
Oh yeah.
just do like one, like I guess just remake Sky because that's a definitive edition of the other
Mhm.
two.
Do we know for the remake for Rescue Team? Did that like was that good? Did you guys play it? never
I
played
didn't
it.
play it, but I heard people said it was good. It just felt like the original, but in 3D.
I'm cool with that though. You know,
Yeah.
like the game looked good. I played the demo when
No.
it came out. You know.
Yeah, I played the demo too, and the art style's nice. I still prefer the sprites.
Mm.
I think there's a lot more charm with the pixel art. Which there's actually I guess recently somebody made a modding tool for the DS Mystery Dungeon games.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And there's a whole community now, and they're working to make sprites like, you know, the portraits and the overworld sprites for every single Pokemon.
Wow.
And there's
Yeah.
some really talented, like not all of them are great, but there's some really talented artists in there
Mhm.
who they got it to a T, and they look exactly like they came out of those games.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's I don't even like I haven't played any of the mods, I haven't done any of the modding, but I have the site bookmarked just to check in and see the
Yeah,
see the
that's
sprite
cool.
work.
And
There's
I
a lot
would-
of talented people in the.
I wish we
community.
had more games have that kind of like old Pokemon pixel art style. Like you know, you got a lot of indie games doing pixel art. That's fine and all, but I want like that classic like 2000
Almost
2000
chibi-ish.
Yeah,
and then
like
it
a
goes
Oh
chibi-
well.
pixel art style, because you know all these big games that are being released, so leaning more towards like a Pixel X like style.
Yeah.
To appeal
That
to
was a
you.
big complaint with
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet. People kept saying it looked like Pixar, which I didn't see. I know it was
Yeah, I don't
less
see that.
anime. Like the characters were more of their own style and not like general anime style. But
Yeah.
I think I don't think anyone would say that the style looks bad. It's just that we're tired of said style because all these big
Hey, please don't
gaming,
mess with the
sorry.
with the thing.
all these
Sorry, I
big
can just hear it.
AAA studios are leaning towards that style because
Yeah.
a lot of the younger kids like that style.
It's also easier to
specifically-
replicate. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very basic. I think honestly the part that doesn't work for me is like the lighting in
Mm.
Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
I think as much as I think Scarlet and Violet is better than Sword and Shield, Sword and Shield had the better art style.
Yeah.
Like the cell shaded with the outlines
Mhm.
on the model.
Honestly, I feel myself going back to Sword and Shield more than I do Scarlet and Violet.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like the DLC for Sword and Shield knocked it out of the park. Because I mean, there's where the other half of your game went. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, because I think the game also just like they both don't look good. But in certain areas, Sword and Shield I feel like actually looks good.
I mean,
you know.
to be fair, the Scarlet and Violet DLC is coming out this year.
Yeah,
question
fall.
mark?
Yeah, supposedly
Part one-
both are supposed to be this year.
Yeah, part 1 is in fall, part 2 is in winter. And I mean, I'll give it a chance. Like, I'm excited to see if,
Mhm.
maybe there's new paradoxes. Though, saying that out loud, I should probably just expect for the only new Pokemon to be the frickin' Sparkle Turtle.
Yeah, I really hope they don't do that because like we did get some new Pokemon, like new forms, Galarian forms in the Sword and Shield DLC.
Yeah, I want more Paldean forms or whatever.
Yeah, I
'cause-
think the Paradox forms are sick.
yeah,
Like,
Paradox forms are dope. More just general, because we only got Tauros and Wooper for Paldean forms, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I think you're
Not
right.
even like, not even Quagsire too. It's just a different evolution. But
Mhm.
like,
Okay, but that's like
I mean,
That's, like,
Clodsire is
probably
good. Clod,
top 5 Pokemon in that game though.
yeah, Clodsire is pretty good.
Clodsire is pretty great.
Yeah. Holy shit.
But
Um,
like more Paldean forms, definitely more paradoxes. Like I've seen
Yeah.
so many cool fan designs for paradoxes that are frankly like they take the whole concept up a notch.
Oh yeah.
Like instead of just like here's a Pokemon but robot, they're like here's a robotic Pokemon, but like I saw one where it was like Venusaur, but its flower is like a propeller instead.
Oh, that's neat.
Ooh.
I like that.
So it becomes like just like a flying thing, stuff like that. Like there's
Nintendo, hire this man.
yeah. I saw a really dope Garchomp one the other day that just looks like a Monster Hunter monster.
Oh,
I'm down for that.
Speaking of Pokemon trends, have you all seen the trend online of de-legifying legendary Pokemon?
I did see that.
I
Yeah.
actually haven't.
They're
What,
pretty cute.
tell me about
Oh,
that.
basically, people have been making non-legendary forms of legendary Pokemon. The one that I think the one that kicked it off was a legendary Kyogre, I believe. That was the one that kicked it off.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like a cute little whale.
Let me see. Let's. I'll Google
Cute little
this.
baby
I'll
whale.
have to Google it.
Yeah.
later.
There's been a whole bunch of like amazing Deoxys ones as well.
Oh,
Just little
yeah. Okay.
Cute little fucking
Hmm.
DNA guys.
I'll tell you what though. I was pleasantly surprised by Legends Arceus, just like as a whole. You know,
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was,
I felt so good playing that game. I was like, this is great. Like we
Yeah.
are so back, and then we were not back.
yeah,
it
like
was so over.
that one was really good, and I know it's still not like like compare that to even just Breath of the Wild, let alone Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah, no, like it's still watched,
But
but,
it-
like
Oh, yeah.
It had so many cool ideas. I love just throwing balls. Like
Yeah.
I have some complaints with it. Like I felt like I didn't really have a personal connection to my Pokemon as much because there was less battling, and they just like you gained so much experience that they were evolving just randomly.
super quick. Yeah.
So but I did really enjoy that experience, and I think if they kind of took that, which I thought Scarlet and Violet was going to do. I thought they were going to take those mechanics and put it into a traditional.
It's such a missed opportunity.
Oh, I don't mean to interrupt,
Like
but
what?
Oh, did you
go
get the
back. Yeah, I
you get the
found
baby
thread.
Kyogre?
I found the thread that started it all.
Oh, that's
Take a
pretty
look
cool.
through that. But yeah, there are a bunch of just Pokemon artists out there that make so many cool designs and stuff. I'm not saying that the ones we get nowadays are not cool and stuff.
Yeah, I will say
Because-
I don't think the designs miss. The designs
Yeah.
are still pretty good.
Oh yeah, they still hold up. But
Yeah.
I will say, going back to Gen 4, dude, I'm a Gen 4 simp, dude.
Dude, same, honestly.
Fuck, those designs were banger, dude. I wish we had more designs like that, you know?
Yeah, I think your favorite Pokemon generation is the one that you grew up on, and
Okay, fair.
for me it's either 3 or 4. I can't really. I always have a hard time deciding because like Hoenn, especially Emerald, I'm just like it's perfection. But then Gen 4 comes along, and like it does the physical special split. It brings in new evolutions for like all these older Pokemon. Like the map design, the characters I feel like are stronger, but it's just I don't know. I'm very nostalgic for Gen 3.
Yeah, no, Gen 3 is. I really like the aesthetic. Like, I know
Yeah.
it's. I know, like, objectively, like, Gen 4 probably is better with the pixel art. That's pretty good. But there's something about Gen 3's look and feel that's very. I don't want to use the word nostalgic, but I can kind of say that because I got into Pokemon really with Gen 4, so I don't have that nostalgic attachment to Gen 3, but it still gives off that air. It's like very, it's I can't describe it otherwise. It just has that very like small feel to it, like intimate,
Yeah,
cozy.
I think the soundtrack is a big part of that too.
Yeah.
I never played a Gen 3 game before.
What?
Well, hey,
Never.
it's now's no time like the present.
Actually, I was thinking
Steam Deck
about
pirating.
on Nintendo. If you're listening to this, we have nothing else to say. This is the end of the podcast. Okay. Okay, I think they're gone. Yeah, I've been thinking about modding my CD, like a 3DS.
Did you know it's surprisingly easy?
It is surprisingly easy.
No, for real. Like, I was thinking about maybe getting like a brand new like 3DS XL model or whatever, and just modding it. Because I've been on I have this like urge to go back and play all my 3DS games, but my release one just does not work as well as it used to.
Yeah.
Like the right shoulder button like just does not work anymore. So, and like I also been like, oh, I want to play all these old Nintendo games I played up growing up and maybe try some new ones like Gen 3, you know?
Well, look, I'm just saying, the eShop is down, so the only way that you can play like those games and a lot of other games is by modding. And I'm just saying, I think that's the ethical thing to do. It's
about
yes.
preserving. Thank you. Yeah.
Preservation.
We got there.
Lost media. The Lost Media Week is probably blowing the fuck up. They're like, so much lost media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like so many small indie games, just you can't play them anymore.
Exactly.
So because not a lot of them made the jump to other platforms, so they're just gone.
It's so sad.
Rest in peace, Pokemon Dream Radar.
I never actually played Dream Radar. I
What
never.
the fuck is Dream Radar?
Dream Radar was a companion game they added for. It was 3DS exclusive, but they made it for Black and White too, because that game had come out after the 3DS, but it was still like for the original DS. And basically, it's just an AR game where you shoot legendary Pokemon, and then you can add them to Black and White too.
Okay. Cool, I guess,
the genies,
Yeah, they
but they're in their furry forms.
Nintendo was very big on the AR shit back in the day.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was never good.
Yeah, no, it still isn't either.
Yeah.
Even with Pokemon Go, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of Pokemon Go, Charlie, you're like pretty into it, and I know there's been some stuff recently that
was into. I mean, I say that as I've only been doing like the community days lately, just because I want shinies. So
Yeah.
I was doing that earlier after I don't touch the games outside of once a month for the the shinies, but they've done a lot of as if Game Freak wasn't bad enough. Niantic, the company making Pokemon Go, is like the most out of touch like game developer I think I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot given like Blizzard and all that.
Yeah.
But like so COVID hit and they introduced these things called remote raids, and so people could do raids without having to leave their home because COVID, whatever. But it also allowed for people who live in rural communities to actually be able to beat raids now because, there's not a lot of people.
Yeah,
and you
right.
can't really coordinate raids easily. So you just use like third-party apps to organize raid groups, and then you'd add them to your friends list, invite them to the raid. And that's how when I got back into playing in 2021, I was able to actually catch legendaries because I would, use these remote lobbies, and I, could play the game. And that worked for, over a year or so. And recently, like they had talked about it for a while, but recently they pulled the plug and tripled the cost. It was like doubled or tripled the cost of the remote raid passes in the shop. Stopped giving them. They used to give out like one free one a week.
Yeah, right.
They had stopped that a while ago, but that was like the beginning of the end. They nerfed the amount of damage that remote raiders can do. So like if you're remotely raiding, you're like not doing any damage output.
Oh my god.
Really? I
Yeah.
never heard of a game company doing something like that before.
Yeah, they limited the amount of remote raids you could do a day. It used to be you could do as many as you bought the passes for.
Yeah, right.
Now you're limited. So it's killed the remote raiding community. Like the app I used like is dead. You'll see so many open lobbies of people waiting for someone to help them, but nobody, because
That's so sad, man.
people don't want to pay the new price for the remote passes, and so they're just so I can't raid anymore because there's no I live in bumfuck nowhere. I don't live in Chicago where the game is made, where they think apparently the rest of the world, because all the events and stuff they do are like very clearly made in like they use Chicago as a testing ground. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
like they do. You and I went out for their, what is it, the Pokemon tour. It was like the Hoenn tour.
Oh yes,
And
yeah.
They did that in fucking February. Like it was snowy and icy, and we were freezing our asses off. But that's when they decided to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then there's other stuff too. Like even especially going back to like locations, right? Like I'm sure like when you were in New York, you were probably having a great time.
Oh yeah,
right?
God! Started college in the summer of 2016, right when Pokemon Go hit. So we spent the summer before college started in our small hometown playing the game. Everyone's like, "Whoa, look at there's like you caught like a Vileplume like immediately," and everyone's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And I remember it was at your graduation party. There was like a Dragonite in the distance.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, we gotta,
Yeah, we all ran off to go get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody actually got it.
No.
though.
No, I remember, and then we went with our family to a beach, and there was a Dratini, and everyone was freaking out.
Oh yeah. That was when we found out about the whole like Google Map.
Yeah, there was
website.
somebody had like a website that like was a radar. It was, which
yep.
those don't work anymore. But it was a fun time, and so I go to New York, and it's like fucking balls to the wall. Like there is Pokemon everywhere. It was insane. And so during my college years, I mean, I kind of stopped, like halfway through college because I just got so busy and the game died off and whatever. But like cities are the place to be, and they don't make the game in mind for these smaller communities. I mean, I've heard of people, like overseas in like Europe and Asia and stuff who live in really small towns that have nothing. Like they have like one gym like 30 miles away from where they live because the game is made, the developers make it in mind for heavily populated cities in first world countries. They don't consider anybody else.
No, if only those cities were walkable.
If only.
Yeah.
If only. Actually, when me and Amanda went to Germany, we went to a few of like the bigger cities, and I was like, this is so nice.
Yeah, you can actually walk places.
On
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah, I was like, I can actually like, because like we would spend the entire day just walking around, and we could hit like a billion different places. I was
Dude.
like,
You ever notice that in Doctor Strange, when they go to the New York that's super advanced and futuristic, all the streets are walkable? What a fantasy.
yeah, it's incredible. Isn't
Okay,
it?
going back to 2016 for a sec. What
Yes.
teams did you choose? when you
Red
started
team.
playing?
Yeah, I did Valor. Yeah.
Valor.
I never chose a team.
Yeah,
What?
You're still the unchosen green color.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
I'm still a.
Well, yeah, because he stopped playing like after that first summer.
I didn't know that
yeah, I
you could
haven't
not.
had my team color popped yet.
See, I didn't know that you couldn't not choose a team. I thought it like forced you into it, but that's interesting.
No,
I didn't know
back
that.
then I was like, well, okay, if you want, you can choose a team and get all these cool benefits.
Bro, put your
Having-
account on eBay. You will make some cash.
Well, yeah, especially because 2016 Pokemon are super fucking valuable because they do like these lucky trades, where
Oh yeah.
there's a chance when you trade a Pokemon with someone that they'll become lucky, which like boosts their stats. They cost less like Stardust and Candy to power up and stuff. They're just better Pokemon. And if you trade with someone and one of the Pokemon is from 2016, both Pokemon are guaranteed to become lucky. So they're like a hot commodity.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea. I would sell it if my the phone that had Pokemon Go in my account didn't break itself.
Well, it's tied to a Google account.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm about to make some quick cash.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
can't.
Pokemon Go. It was a fun ride getting back into it, but I mean, I did see a surprising amount of people at the park, but it was also a nice day, and I think a lot of people are still like well, shinies.
Yeah, I think that's also like the only place like locally where I actually see people playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
too.
no, it's the. I mean, on the way to here, I saw one guy on the side of the road walking, circle doing the curve.
Oh,
on
really?
His phone. I was like, yeah. But the game has been dead otherwise.
The
Like
last time
apparently April 2023 was the lowest profits for the game in its entire lifetime.
That's tough.
Not even like the post hype months. The post initial hype months still made more money than April 2023.
Yikes.
crazy. Wow.
All of COVID, like the big, I mean, not that COVID's over, but all of the big, initial pandemic months made more money than April 2023.
It's like people don't like going outside.
Well, you take away things that made the game actively better for people.
Yeah, right.
And people are going to get mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, I retract my statement. Yeah, COVID was bad, but still.
Yeah, no, like the remote ratings were a necessity, but they should have just kept them the way they were so people could like for me, I use it because I live in the middle of nowhere and I need it. But like, there's people who are like disabled and they can't leave the house, and this was a way for them to be able to play.
True, yeah.
Like I guess fuck them because they're wheelchair bound or whatever. They can't get out.
Right.
I guess they don't matter according to Niantic.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pokemon Go, there's no stone of the Pokemon franchise right now that
Right.
feels
Like I feel like I'm just kind of tired.
I'm tired, but I still love the franchise so much. I love the idea of it. The idea of this world where you get to explore and befriend a bunch of cool monsters. Like that's appealing, and I think that's why we still hold out hope. Because if the concept wasn't good, we wouldn't care.
Well,
For sure.
I actually have the game for you, my brother. I know of a very cool open world game where you go around on an adventure, exploring lands, and making friends along the way.
Are you gonna say Tears of the Kingdom?
Yes.
Well, we'll save that for that episode. But
Man, what a sad note to end on, though.
end on. I didn't know. I thought we were still going.
Yeah, I mean, we still got the pick of the week too.
Yeah.
So like we got stuff like that.
I was
Pick of the
gonna
week.
say
Play the
before we do pick of the week, I just want to say, on the bright side, the failure of not the Pokemon's been failing, but like the lack of quality has sparked indie devs to make their own monster catching games, and we're in like the golden age of that. There's, not all of them have been great. Like Temtem bombed spectacularly. Like I think the concept of Temtem was good. It just didn't work for some reason.
Yeah.
It didn't appeal to a mass market, you
Well,
say?
I thought the designs were kind of dog shit.
Yeah, I really didn't care for it.
Did
I think
you
that's
make
been my
a
big
design
issue
for
with a
that
lot of these.
No, I made a design for Monster Sanctuary.
Oh, yeah, Monster
Which is the
Sanctuary.
Metroidvania Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which Metroidvania is my favorite genre, so that was just a natural fit.
Yeah, I feel like the like a lot of these Pokemon clones, like for me, it's like the designs just don't hit like the Pokemon ones do, because like even to this day, like even like when the Gen 9 Pokemon were starting to get leaked, I was like shit, like I am sold.
Yeah,
I was like
like,
this
there's
is awesome.
If there's one,
There's some really cool ones.
if there's one thing Pokemon has done consistently well its entire time is designs.
Yeah.
I know it's divisive, and I know there's some people who prefer early gens, some people for later gens, but I like all of them. I'm always excited to see new Pokemon, and it's very rare that there are Pokemon I actively dislike. And thinking about it, I think the only Pokemon I actively dislike are recent starters.
Yeah, it's really
Cinderace
strange.
and Cinderace, Inteleon, Masquerada. I don't like the humanoid, like starters.
Well, yeah, and honestly, that's kind of why I kind of like fell out of Pokemon for a while, was because I didn't really care about the starters as much. Like Gen 5 starters are very weak.
Yeah.
Gen 6 Froakie's cool.
Like
Yeah.
if you
I
say
think Gen 6 has a arguably pretty strong trio.
I think it's okay besides Delphox.
okay,
That's fair. Chestnut's my favorite.
I
Yeah.
don't understand. Like going back to what you said about people disliking the designs, I don't see how people can dislike okay, I can kind of see, but like some of the new designs like fucking hit hard. Like like that's so cool. But then people are like, yeah, you know what? No, I don't like this fucking cool ass ghost knight with fucking blades for hands.
Yeah.
I prefer actual just piles of sludge.
Well, yeah, and it's like,
Well, yeah, those people are just like blinded by nostalgia, and they think
Yeah.
that
yeah.
there's only 151 Pokemon.
I'll say
Oh
if
my
you guys
God,
if you guys gotta choose like a favorite like post Gen 5 Pokemon, like is there one that sticks out to you?
So
Hmm.
Seal Edge or whatever. the
Oh,
name
so-
is.
I'm
I can't pronounce it.
Ceruledge?
Yeah, Seal Edge.
Yes.
Thank you. Fuck, that design goes hard.
Yeah,
Holy
that's pretty
shit.
sweet.
The shiny sucks though.
yeah,
I'm
the
not a fan of
shinies.
shiny. No.
There, I don't get how they've been making dog shit shinies in modern times, because it's literally like they are actively like in the before all the colors were like randomly generated.
Yeah,
I
right.
believe.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah, it was all there's a video I saw that broke it down. It was really interesting. It was based on like the color palette the Pokemon already had plus its types determined it's shiny.
Hmm.
Really neat stuff. But like they're just really dog shit shinies in Gen 9 for some reason. But going back to the question of your favorite post Gen 5 Pokemon, that's a hard one. I just said, I'm a big fan of Chestnut. I'm a sucker for Mammal Bowser, essentially. Rabska, really cool. I like the idea of like
the new bug one.
yeah, like a dung beetle that's rolling a psychic orb. I guess that's my gut feeling.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of. I really like Grimmsnarl. I think is it's
Grimmsnar's cool.
the
Yeah.
the Impidimp evolution.
Yes.
He is wicked cool for the first ever Dark Fairy. I think they really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, for sure.
Such a good boy. Too,
yeah.
Man. Fuck.
Those are my first thoughts. I mean, yeah, I liked pretty much all of 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, like I think all of
Were
the
they-
designs have been pretty solid.
Yeah, I think 9 definitely knocks out of the park compared to Gen 8. Honestly.
Yeah,
That's me, though.
I do think that in some ways like Gen 9 kind of returned to an older style of design.
Mhm.
I mean, there are some that are very obviously modern Pokemon, but you
Right.
also got a lot that are a lot like they're simpler, more animalistic.
Mhm.
I like that.
Some of them are just fucking straight up cool, like Seal Edge.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
keep-
I
you
think
just really love
you
Ceruledge.
just really like Ceruledge, man. It's a sword. It's a sword. It's cool.
So fucking cool.
Yeah, it's the
I gotta
Lucario
say-
of our times.
I think my
You're right, but also shut the fuck up.
I think my favorite like post like Gen 5 is probably Toxtricity.
Toxtricity is pretty
It's
cool.
so cool.
What's that
one?
It's from Gen 8. It's the poison and electric one. It's like the giant
He's
lizard
in
with
Gen
like
9. Have
it
you
has
seen
like an electric guitar.
He's like purple and
Oh
yellow.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like that design. I'm gonna be honest.
I will say I do think the hips are a little too low set on him, but I dig the idea. I think that is probably one of the best ideas they could have done for poison and electric.
Yeah,
like a like sludge metal
Yeah,
kind of.
it's
I
so
just
cool.
I just can't. I don't like the overall shape. It's just a long tube with like big size.
I will say my hot take on Toxicity is I like the blue one better.
Same.
I
Yeah.
think purple and yellow is a really dog shit color combo.
I think they work it off for the most part,
Well,
like especially in game. But
yeah. I will say that specific choice because it's like a really like leaning on green yellow with a very basic out of the box purple. I think the blue and purple work a lot better.
for sure. Yeah.
I think maybe if they had done like a more like the shiny for the yellow one,
Yeah.
that works because it's more of a like a magenta-ish purple. So I think I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm very picky with my color palettes for Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it could be worse. They could have just changed the eye color.
yeah.
That's true.
All right. I want to try to keep the good vibes rolling. Is there a Pokemon that is like your overall favorite?
For me,
That's a hard one. No, you.
I
go
know
first.
it's tough.
I need to think. I need to think about this.
Because I have mine locked and loaded. I know that you guys know it.
I
but-
know for a long time I was a really big Blaziken guy, but I
Yeah.
think that was also nostalgia because the first Pokemon game I ever played was Mystery Dungeon, and so
You were Blaziken.
yeah, I
right?
was like yeah. So, but I'm a real sucker for Tangela. There's something about just a little guy who's hidden inside, like his face is hidden. He's just little eyes peeking out, and he's got little red shoes. Like there's something so 90s about his design
Yeah.
too. Like you don't see Pokemon. I mean, I know there are Pokemon that like wear clothes nowadays, but he's got literal fucking like Nike kicks on him. You know, he looks like he reminds me of like the McDonald things, the Fry Guys or whatever.
Oh yeah, like Grimace and stuff. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, I really like he's just a little guy with his shoes running around. I like him.
Well, if you like that kind of character design, boy, do I have a Nintendo property for you,
What Nintendo?
Colby.
Oh yeah, no, I love.
Yeah, that's
Kirby.
true. Yeah. Jack, do you have a favorite Pokemon?
I'm still
complete
thinking about
standout?
it.
Alright.
The gills are turning. It's like that one episode of SpongeBob where Patrick's gills finally torn, and it's like fucking smoke out of it.
Okay. We'll circle back.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite, and it's been solidified for a long time now, is definitely Munchlax.
Munchlax
I'm
is a
such a
pretty-
sucker for Munchlax. I just think he's just a dude.
That
Didn't
is
you
a
go
top tier
through-
choice.
Yeah.
Didn't you go through a phase of having like that little catfish Pokemon? like,
So
your favorite?
actually, this is a funny story.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
no,
Jack, do you want the recap on this?
well, I mean, if
so-
it's a good story,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
So this will give you more time to think about your favorite too.
Mhm.
So we were in, I think, was it 5th grade, Charlie, when you were
Yes,
playing
it
Mystery
was,
Dungeon?
It was 5th grade, and yeah, you can tell it if you want.
Yeah. So in the 5th grade, Charlie was playing Mystery Dungeon for the first time, and
Yeah.
like I want to say you were Torchic and Josh was Piplup.
Yes, I had
Is
named I named the player character after myself. I named the partner after our good buddy Josh. And so when
Rest in peace.
when
buddy.
the time finally came for me to be starting recruiting Pokemon, it was in a water dungeon. And so I was just, as they were coming, like first Pokemon I ever recruited, Psyduck, boom, that's Jack.
yeah,
Next one I recruited was a Barboach. And so going down the list of friends, I was like, that's Jared. And 5th grade Jared could not have thought of a bigger insult in his life.
I think I'm still insulted by that because like at least Whiscash is cool, but I'm like Barboach. You think I'm a mudworm?
Hey, Barboach, you evolved into Wishcast. I remember you got to the point where you were begging me to make you a Riolu instead.
Yeah, I was like, dude, please. I was like, honestly, anything else. I was just kind of like, please don't make me a Barboach.
No, I think that's really funny in hindsight, but
it's very
Barboach, yeah. Wishcast is definitely better out of the two.
kind of
Oh.
reminds me of another story in school, but my favorite full potential of Minecraft episode.
Oh,
Well, I got so upset at you for stealing my iron armor.
Oh yeah, I got
You
I
still
got
owe me a
set up.
set. You
I
still owe me
yeah.
a
Next
set.
time we play Minecraft server, I'll get you a set of iron armor.
Fucking finally, like fucking, I've been waiting.
Dude, our
Jack,
Minecraft
you have no
servers were
idea.
toxic as fuck.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good.
You have no
a
idea.
bunch
I've
of
been waiting
boys
for
going
this-
through puberty and
Do
taking
you
their
mind?
aggression out. And
Do you mind? I'm trying to communicate with the audience here. You have no idea how long I've been waiting for this iron set. Okay, it's been what, fucking 8 years?
Longer.
It's-
9.
I was definitely like, I think I was like 14 maybe. Like we were.
no, it's been like what?
It's
almost
probably
12
it's been
years?
a decade probably.
Because we were playing in 2012, so
Yeah.
it's like 13ish years. Wait, no, I'm doing my math wrong. It's like 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Don't
I'm-
ever give Jared your iron armor. He will not return it.
Didn't I? I thought I stole it from
Yeah,
you.
you stole it
I
from
thought I
me.
stole
But
it.
I'm
yeah.
just giving a
Because
general
I thought I
warning.
was juking Charlie. No offense, man. And then,
Yeah.
then I was like, because
Yeah.
someone set me up. I think someone told me that.
There's a certain someone who I believe was responsible.
I'm pretty
for
sure I know
most
who
of
it
the
is too.
toxicity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know exactly who we're talking about.
Toxtricity.
But Tuxtricity.
Yeah.
So
Oh
Jack,
yeah. Going back to Pokemon and
Yes.
stuff.
do you got a favorite?
I don't know. I think it's like I don't want to say a 3-way tie.
If it's a tie, that's fine. Like I'm.
If I had to choose
You can do
off the
like
top of my head,
yeah.
yeah, you know what? Fuck it, 3-way tie. Storage.
Whoa, Cerulege. I
Shut
would've never
the
seen
Whoa,
that.
whoa, bro! Charlie, do you know Cerulege? He's just a big fucking sword.
Yeah, dude, Cerulege. That's such an obscure pick. Jack has never spoken about Cerulege, so I would have had no.
It's
Yeah.
the night with the.
Yeah, no, it's a really.
It is pretty
dope
cool.
design.
We all like Cerulege
Okay,
here.
but it's a 3-way tie between them, Empoleon, and Psyduck. Dude, I just love
I knew-
Psyduck.
I knew you were gonna say Empoleon.
Yeah, but Psyduck though, dude.
Empoleon's good.
He's just a little funny guy.
Psyduck is pretty dope.
He's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just a funny little guy. He's just like
I
I
do like
definitely
Psyduck.
didn't just force that onto you either. Because
Okay, did we
Jack,
fail?
he wasn't into Pokemon either, so I was like, "Hey, you're a Psyduck," and he's like, "What's a Psyduck?"
Okay, but then I
fuck
fell
is
in
it?
love with it on my own volition. Okay,
Yes.
I am a free thinker. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No, Psyduck's dope, and he totally earned the title of being one of the few Pokemon in every single Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, no, Psyduck is dope. Big Psyduck guy over here. That's
Yeah, dude. If we can all, if the entire Pokemon community can agree on something, anything, Psyduck's just a little guy.
He's just a guy, man.
He's
a little guy.
He's peak little guyness. You know?
I think that's a solid.
He thinks
note.
too hard and he gets a headache. You know?
Yeah.
I will say I miss that aspect of him. Like in the 3D games, you don't see him holding his head anymore.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if, like, in Scarlet and Violet, you'd find one like sitting on a on a riverbank, like holding it. Not
yeah.
that. I mean, obviously, like
Realistic depiction of a panic attack.
no, like it's probably better that Psyducks as a species are not collectively having headaches all the time.
Yeah.
God, imagine being born with a migraine.
All right. And then final question, final favorite question.
Okay.
Favorite Pokemon game, could be spin-off, could be mainline. Gun to your head, what do you choose?
Platinum. Okay, goodbye, y'all.
Okay, that was quick. That was quick.
Yeah, Black and White too.
Black and White 2, straight up, yeah.
I think. What about you?
Probably Explorers of Sky, to be honest with you.
Any
Yeah,
spin-offs
like including spin-offs.
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck Black and White too.
Nah.
Explorers of Sky is where it's at, dude.
Yeah, dude, Explorers of Sky is so good.
The Mystery Dungeon series is peak. Like if Pokemon just like decided to randomly switch to Mystery Dungeon format,
I'm done.
I would
cool with
never
it.
complain. I don't need to see another goddamn human trainer in Pokemon ever again.
Yeah.
Just let
Keep that narrative going, like I'm down for it,
Yeah.
It's like,
I know
Okay,
that it just gives the furries more ammo, but
yeah, well, yeah.
I just gotta stick to my guns. Platinum, man. Just everything about it. Like the world, the story, the underground, dude. I yearn for the mine.
I'll never
I yearn for the
dude,
mine
the
to come
underground.
back.
I'll never forgive them for what they did to the underground.
Yeah.
They took I will say I do have very fond memories of in both your parents' basement. And it would be like midnight, and your mom would be like asking us, "Are you guys in bed?" And we're like, "Yeah," and like we're all just like in the mines.
Yeah,
You know? And I do the capture the flag, you know,
setting
like,
up traps and
yeah,
hey,
man,
dude,
that was
come
cool.
here and right into a pitfall.
Dude. Oh yeah, and fucking the games of tag we would play.
Yeah,
It was so fun.
dude, and then just like the mining and it was a fantastic time, and the remakes. Not that I didn't play them. I just watched and learned about them from people who have, and like it's just so sad to see how like we could have had a remake in the style of like the Gen 8 game, like a proper remake.
Yeah.
Like like Heart Gold and Soul Silver were Gen 2 and the Gen 4 skin and whatever. So they could have and I guess they reimagined Sinnoh with Legends Arceus. But I would have loved to see like a modern, the original Sinnoh reimagined in a modern game.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, we're like, okay, here's a Unity game with reused code. They reused the code.
Yeah, because all the same glitches from Diamond and Pearl.
All the same
still
glitches.
works in the remakes.
The same glitches, the same typos, everything's still there. And here's some really shitty looking 3D models. And Game Freak didn't even make it. They just outsourced it to.
I was actually kind of looking forward to that. Like when they announced that Ilka would be making it, I'd be like, all right, cool, like new blood, like let's give it a shot. And then it just was worse.
Game Freak didn't make it, but they sure as hell tightened the fucking reins.
Honestly, if there was a game like all about mining, I'd be on that shit immediately.
Bro, right?
I know.
Because the children yearn for the mines.
Exactly. Like, how has no one thought of a game just about like the whole take the mining stuff from Diamond and Pearl, right? Just make that whole ass game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go down there and mine and explore
Is this like
and stuff.
Is this like a joke where you're pretending Minecraft doesn't exist, or
What's Minecraft?
okay?
Yeah, Charlie, dude, come on. It
Is
was
it just
a bit. It was a bit.
Are we having the? Anyways,
Anyway,
that would actually be pretty dope. A game of just the Diamond and Pearl Underground, but
that'd
like
be fun.
more fleshed out, obviously.
Yeah, and maybe you can find like fossils too, right? And then you bring them back to a lab, and you actually have to mine out like the bones and stuff, and then you can battle with them. Wouldn't that be cool?
You fight with the fossils.
Yeah.
That you could call them like fossil fighters.
Oh,
if you wanted to
fossil
cool-
fight. Oh, wow, Charlie, look at that. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
We better get on that shit. Okay.
How about when
we
you
need
guys
to
try
capitalize
to?
on that idea.
Yeah, you guys want to play an edgy game where you capture monsters that are not Pokemon using light spectrums.
What the
then-
fuck are you talking about?
Spectrum,
Generally?
Spectrum,
Spectrum.
bro.
It's the fucking one where the game came with plastic
Yeah.
cards that you put on your touchscreen that
Yeah.
tap dots in a specific way to unlock.
I've never heard this before.
Yeah, it's not very good if I recall correctly. I loved it
That's
as a
probably
kid.
why I've never heard it
Yeah,
before.
it's
All I remember about it is that they had like a pug that had like a mustache.
yeah,
as
that was
one
the
of
poster child for them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're Pikachu.
Ooh, maybe
Really-
we could, maybe another episode we could talk about kind of like Pokemon X games.
I'm definitely
Yeah, like we could. There's a ton. That
monster hunting games.
Just monster hunting and
Ooh.
catching games.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest does a shit ton of those because they have some
Mhm.
really cool monster designs.
Cool.
But-
So you guys want to do pick of the week?
Yeah, what's your
yeah,
pick of the
play
week?
that jingle. You know, the pick of the week jingle.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
it.
th-
Well,
Thanks,
yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Do you guys have something you want to start with, or I will pick something different than what all three of us are thinking right now.
Yeah, I was thinking like, can I pick anything that's not this?
Yeah.
But you first.
Yeah. So I'll take the easy one. Shocker. I'm coming back in with another comic book recommendation. Me, Charlie, Josh, and Amanda, we all did a free comic book day, and that was a great time. We went to a couple different comic book shops, got some free comics.
Supported a dying
Mhm.
industry
Yeah.
by taking free things and not spending money.
Actually, did you buy anything from?
I
any of
did.
this?
I did buy some old comic
Right.
books.
Yeah. So and I picked up a couple trade paperbacks too, which is very cool. But yeah, no. So free comic book day, it's a great thing. I might make a video about it like next year, maybe.
Yeah, like
But-
a little guide how to.
Yeah,
make
yeah,
it
because
fun.
it's all fun and games. So
Yeah.
What you guys got?
You can go next.
So avoiding talking about Zelda again, I've been spending a lot of my free time because I've been working a whole work-life balance
Mhm.
thing. So I've been spending my, cut off work at a certain hour and enjoy my night, and I've been using that to clear up my backlog of games. And the last game I beat was Eastward, which is it's like a 2D adventure game in the style of old 2D Zelda. Fantastic pixel art. The story is pretty good. It kind of there's a reason for why it kind of fumbles towards the end because they were developing before COVID and COVID hit, and there's a whole thing where they had to work from home, but their servers at their studio, like there was a power outage, they lost everything,
No.
and they had to they lost everything that they didn't have on their own personal computers.
Right.
So after like patching back together a build of the game using everyone's files, they had to redo like months of work and then still get it
man.
out because I think Chucklefish had picked them up for publishing, so they had like a deadline.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Still a
That's-
great game though, like the fantastic pixel art, the characters are fun, really good game design. For the most part, again, the end of the game kind of fumbles in a way that it gets a little repetitive, but I still enjoyed it. Like I finished the game and I was like, that was good. I have a lot of questions for the story. Cause it's one of those games that has like a really like kind of deep thought out world, but you only really scratch the surface, which is kind of a vibe that I can get. Like it's a whole, like, you're just a random person in this world. You're not going to learn everything about it, whatever. Like it's cool. They have a Breath of the Wild cooking mechanic where you just like
Very fun.
find ingredients and you put, that was fun. Yeah, I had a good time. Tyler was the one who recommended it to me, so he could probably talk a lot about it too. But that's my recommendation. Eastward. If you haven't played it, check it out. It's fun. It's nice to play like a 2D Zelda-esque game
Heck yeah.
in modern times.
I bought that when you recommended it to me and still have not played it. I need to get to playing that,
Dude, it's dope.
But
It's
there's
like,
so many games I have in my backlog, dude.
yeah.
I did start playing Pizza Tower, by the way. So I did take your recommendation.
Hell
Thank you.
I did the first few levels. It's very, very, very fun.
Yeah.
Very much a Jerry Core game. It's good stuff.
Jerry Core.
Jerry Core. Yeah, I didn't come up with that. Charlie and Josh came up with that.
Yeah, no, it seems like a very Jerry Core game. It's all built around, speed running and perfecting things, and it's goofy and wacky.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
Jerry Core.
Yeah.
look,
I have my whole Steam collection. I'll show you it. It's
Yeah.
Jerry Core. Yeah.
For my pick of the week, to be honest, not much has been happening like recently besides like, real life stuff. But
Is there cool real life stuff happening?
kind of in the background. I'm working with someone right now to help me kickstart my channel and stuff. Get
I get
hold
it.
a
That's
fresh
fun.
coat of paint. And yeah, and hopefully sometime this summer I should be coming out with an actual video and actually stop making videos again.
Hell yeah, brother. Hey, do you want to drop that YouTube link?
Oh yeah.
You wanna hit that
Just
plug?
Put it in the quick. Just reach over.
I'll put it in the description anyway. But if you want to say
reach
it.
over the play bar and drop in the description.
Yeah.
When the video ends.
Yeah. It's you can. I'm they'll make videos at youtube.com/KX3D. That is KAYEX 3D. Or you can search up KX on
Or
the
use
search
promotion
bar.
code KX30 at checkout for.
Yeah. Apparently the fucking KX URL was taken already, so I had to go with
Is it really?
KX and then 3D at the
Well,
end.
yeah, that's a little Easter egg
Yeah,
to
but
your
Easter egg
original.
for the real
For,
homies out there.
for the real KX loresters, you know.
Yeah, but I won't say too much about it, but I will say it involves a little bit of fashion. So take that as you will.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm kind of down for that. I like it. Cool. Well, you've all been wonderful. Thank
So
you.
have you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to shit on a franchise that would not
That
be
was fun.
affected.
That felt
at all.
cathartic, you know.
Yeah, and I am sure the CEOs are wiping away their tears with their dollar bills.
Yeah, with some
but
bennies.
I think at the end of the day, we can all agree. Psyduck's just a little dude.
He's
just a little guy. Just a little guy.
And on a serious note, you know, we're all fans. We love this series, you know, and that's why we care too much.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And
a
it's
fan.
also-
Fuck
well,
Pokemon.